So just a quick look at substituting values into algebraic expressions. You've done this before. Really all we're doing is just using formulas, but I'm just wanting to make a little bit of a connection with this and what we're going to be getting into, and that concept that letters just mean some number that we don't currently have. So you've worked with this in that you're just replacing the variables with given values and finding the missing variable value. So here we have our formula. Area equals length times width. It's the area of a rectangle formula. These are variables. You've used the variables before, so when we start seeing like these x's and y's and random letters in our equations, we're not doing something new because you've used these before. The area is a value we don't know, but we know it's made up of the length times the width. And so I've given, so that means given a length of 4 and a width of 6. So I can substitute those values in. And in this case, area equals 4 times 6, or 24. Now the reason why I put these in brackets is that later on when you do some calculations with some squares and things like that, and there'll be some situations where there's negative numbers, not so much this year but next year, if you don't use the brackets, what'll happen is you might make a mistake on your calculator and get the wrong answer. So good practice, whenever you substitute a value for a variable, put the brackets around it. Now, this is this situation 4 and 6, but what if all of a sudden I said, well, now I got this new rectangle here, and this rectangle over here has an area or this size of 5 by 7. So now I got a 5 by 7 rectangle. Well, L and W were just variables that we selected 4 and 6 for, but in this case, they can change. So variables, the word variable means that it's changing, and so you can change those numbers. You can change your length to 7, you can change your width to 5, and we could have a new formula here. Area equals 7 times 5, and that'll give us an area of 35. I guess those would be some sort of units squared. I didn't really pick anything. So this L and W are things that can change. The A changes. A is now equal to 24. This A is equal to 35. When we're working with these variables in these equations, this is just some letter that we're using to temporarily represent a number until we have that number. Either we're given that number, as in these two cases, or we solve for that number by calculating the equation, the rest of the equation out.